Look at the hood. Look at the.
Hey, everyone.
We both look like E.T.
It's been day 300, 400. I don't even know. It's been like day 475 without Sasha Banks. I'm losing sight in my left toe. Raw has gone to just
everybody.
Come back, Sasha. We need you.
Finally, after all these weeks, welcome to Culture 316, where I don't even remember the slogan. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll just pop up at the bottom.
Somehow. But I am one of your hosts, Jay the Creative.
We're just gonna pour some out for the Fallen Avengers.
Speaking of Avengers, shameless plug. This man has the Heroes Inc. podcast. 2 episodes are out now wherever podcasts can be streamed and or played. They are there, so go check it out as soon as possible.
I'm Angelo Avenger Carter.
Angelo Avenger Carter.
No, that is not. I am Iron Man.
So we're not even no Angie or Carter.
I am Iron Man.
He is Iron Man.
That's my thing.
It's been a couple weeks since we've been at this table, and we do have a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. We're not going to talk a long time about this because we do have something bigger to discuss.
Yeah.
But these past couple weeks, Raw, SmackDown, what is happening?
Sucked.
What is happening? For those of you who are not aware, the Raw after Mania and SmackDown happened. And then we went into the Superstar Shakeup, and both brands got some pretty good additions, but then that's when things kind of also collapsed at the same time, because Vince, the week after the Superstar Shakeup took place, came back on Raw and announced a wild card rule where 3 members of SmackDown can appear on Raw and 3 members of Raw can appear on SmackDown each week. That was then changed to 4 superstars from SmackDown can be on Raw and vice versa.
Then wasn't it changed to 5 because didn't somebody else pop up on SmackDown?
I don't think it was. I think it was either 4 or 5. Either way, multiple superstars from a certain brand can pop up on another brand at any given time, according to this wild card rule.
Yeah.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of a superstar shakeup, because I mean the whole purpose of a draft or superstar shakeup is to have superstars go from one brand to another and to kind of add to the identity of that brand.
I saw a meme and it was like the top half was like Vince McMahon on the phone like, oh, we're gonna do this wild card rule, and the second part was like brand split. Am I a joke to you? I died. Like it's just like is it a joke?
Yeah, I don't even know at this point, but I mean it's gotten to a point where the product has suffered, but I don't think that it's because of the wild card rule or because of Superstar Shakeup. I feel like there are other underlying reasons as to why the product is the way that it is now.
It's just storyline's been terrible. You have so many people quitting. The news came out that Luke Harper was trying to get out of his contract, and then you have, Luke Harper, you're not using him
at all.
And then you say that, you don't get Luke Harper. Are you serious? I still think Luke Harper has been mishandled from 2016. Luke Harper should have been in that match with the WWE Championship match with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton at WrestleMania Orlando. Because
he definitely had momentum on his side.
Not only that, but the storyline was so intriguing. Luke Harper didn't trust Randy Orton, and then he, they won the tag titles, and then the whole thing happened, and then it was just Luke Harper just Battle Royal, because that's where they all end up.
Battle Royal.
They're not needed.
But yeah, that I mean, it's been definitely a rocky past couple of months, not just weeks, as far as the WWE is been concerned, as far as rumors of people leaving, as far as even the build up to AEW, I feel like has kind of added to that, because I mean we don't even know what's gonna happen. There's been news and rumors circulating about their debut on television and them announcing their Tuesday night show, and I think that's kind of they're trying to keep people away from AEW.
Right.
But at the same time,
Well, I think that's pretty obvious considering you had the Revival turn down, I guess, what was it? Rumored to be $550,000 a year, which is like, give me that money. Hello.
Right.
$550,000 a year to go and let's do the math. What is that? What's that, like 2.5 billion? 2.5 billion. Wow. 2.5 million? Let's do what is it? It's 550,000 times 5 times 5. That's 2.75 million a year. I mean 2.75 million for 5 years. They turned that down and look at what because I'm pretty sure the Revival wants to leave. And look at what they're doing on TV.
to be fair, their segment this past week was pretty entertaining in my opinion. I do believe that this feud, I definitely want to see a match between the Usos and the Revival.
I would love to see that too, but not at the I don't want to see that at the expense of the Revival.
Very true.
You know, you had them literally like dogs on the thing trying to scrap. Just like, seriously, this is what we do now.
I'm not opposed to the segment. I'm not opposed to the angle. I do feel I like the segment. I like the angle.
Neither am I. But the Revival's not a comedy team.
Very true. But I think that's what made it so funny.
You have comedy teams.
But at the same
that you do this with.
I can understand that.
The Usos are not a comedy team.
They're not, but I just feel like this just adds depth to an extent because it's exposing parts of both teams that wouldn't normally be exposed.
You could have did this without having to embarrass the Revival the way that you did. That's embarrassing. Like, if somebody put that script in my face and go, yeah, I'm gonna have you scratch your butt on the ring like you're a dog, I would look at them and go, yeah, and I'm gonna kick you. Like, are you kidding me?
But here's dag on it. Because there have been tag teams in the past that have done things similar that wouldn't be considered like comedy tag teams. For example, 2003, there was an angle where the Dudley Boys went into Chris Jericho and Christian's locker room and like stripped them of like their clothes, and they essentially had to go out. Like, I think they came out in only their towels, and then like Devon came up from behind them and just took the towel, like both sets of towels away from them. And it was like, at the time, Jericho and Christian were a heel tag team. Both were super serious. It wasn't like you made the list, Chris Jericho. It was like Ayatollah, rock and roller, like super rock star, like super serious, super vicious Chris Jericho.
But if I'm not mistaken, the Dudley Boys were like not necessarily a comedy team, but the Dudley Boys were like the team that you could put in there and do that, and it would make sense for the Dudley Boys to do that.
Not at the time, because this was fresh off of, they were on Raw.
Educate me, because I'm like,
this is 2003. So like this is
I'm up to 98 in my Raws.
So like this is 2003. So like they tried to split the Dudleys up. Devon went to SmackDown and he had the Deacon gimmick with Batista. Mm-hmm. He ended up coming back to Raw.
That I remember.
And they were very much like the ECW homage team. They were still get the tables. They were still, power bombing women through tables. So like they were considered a serious tag team too, which is the reason why I wasn't super opposed to what happened, because like it kind of reflect and like stuff like this happens and it adds entertainment value to the show. Seeing Dash just yell was mad funny. Yell the way that he did was mad funny. But I mean, like that's moving on from that though.
Because we're not going to agree on this.
Because we're not going to agree on this. But I said moving on from that, I think that I feel like there are a lot of underlying problems, and that are all surfacing up at the same time.
At the same exact time.
And it's like you're trying to put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. But it's like the bleeding is too much. You just can't put a Band-Aid over it.
Exactly. It's bleeding out more and more and more. You have more and more people who are quitting, who are walking away from this company, who want to quit. Writers who are leaving. Writers who are quitting before they can get fired type thing. Like, it's so much going on. And at some point, you have to just figure out. You just have to understand and get it through your head that this is not what's working.
Absolutely.
More on the subject later.
But yeah, the Raw, SmackDown. We're going to talk more about this next week, but I feel like this is kind of like the main thing that we wanted to talk about today. So, 24-year-old sports entertainment prodigy Lio Rush has been under supposedly a lot of backstage heat lately as it pertains to his practices and procedures towards the veteran wrestlers. It was alleged, or it was I guess you could say, it was alleged that Lio is under what people, or what the WWE considers a junior contract, in which, yes, he is getting paid close to main roster money, but he has obligations and responsibilities to do things that kind of reinforce a culture of respect in the locker room, such as handing waters to the veteran superstars after their matches, possibly carrying bags. And Lio wasn't having all that. And so even he issued a statement to a website known as Fightful. Some of you may know it, some of you may not know it. Just kind of reinforcing his point that, yes, I am respectful. No, I don't have any problems with Finn Balor, because it was accused that, Lio brought his wife backstage to the show.
Not just his wife, but people that don't belong there.
Yeah, and they kind of had a problem with it, but he kind of reinforced his position of saying listen, I brought family backstage. I don't have issues with Finn Balor. I am a young black man, just kind of stand up for myself. And there's just certain things that I'm just not going to be doing. Kind of implying that he wasn't going to do a lot of the things that were perceived to reinforce that culture in the locker room of respect as far as towards the veterans are concerned. And since then, a lot of people have pitched in on this topic. Mark Henry, Booker T.
Mark Henry was very, very vocal about how he feels about Lio Rush.
Yeah, very, very vocal. So it's a very, very interesting subject. It's very, very interesting. What I will say is, regardless of if the rumors are true or not, I believe that there is a need for this to be addressed with empathy. Number one, because of the history of people of color in this country, specifically black people, specifically black men, there has been a long history of black men serving white men, whether that be via slavery, or whatever the case may be. That idea of serving white men, there's a long history of that, and therefore it can be perceived that action has a racial undertone.
See, the thing is, that point would be valid if Aleister Black wasn't cleaning up behind the entire locker room for weeks while he was on tour with
No. I'm not denying that. I'm saying, and by the way, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying that from a company perspective, if this is something that is happening within the company, these are things that I feel like company officials should take into account when we're approaching the situation, because there can be potentially things that can be misconstrued as something that has a racial undertone based on the very nature of the action.
Yeah.
However, this is very important to note that Lio has had some, I guess you could say, some alleged backstage heat before, a couple years ago, as far as his tweet upon Emma's release. So this is not the first time he's been under backstage heat for an act that was considered not professional or not of class. But yeah, that's kind of what it's been going on with Lio Rush as far as, and especially since he didn't show up on TV with Bobby Lashley, he hasn't been on any house shows since that, and has also been rumored that Lio Rush wants to make more money. He wants to.
Also, rumors he's going back to NXT.
Right. There's a lot of rumors, and some are saying it's because of punishment. There's another rumor that says that Lio Rush asked for his release to go to the Indies to show Vince what he can do. I feel like if it was a matter of showing somebody what you can do, I don't think that you would be here in the first place. But there's a lot of things going on.
I have a lot I want to say.
So I want you to start. I'm gonna check on the camera, but you keep going.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say anything until we make sure that the camera's good. because I'm not getting audio cut off again.
Camera is good.
Okay, good. Okay. Let me start off by saying I don't dislike Leo Rush, right? I've heard things about him from people that I do know in the business, that he is kind of like cocky and walks around, with his, chin turned upwards and stuff like that. I don't really like people like that, but I can't judge Leo Rush based off of things that I don't know personally. Right? I can only judge him off of what I have seen. Right. Leo Rush does seem a little immature. I mean, he is 24. He's not that much older than me. Like, I'm 97, so Leo Rush is 95? Leo Rush is young, and, I guess, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, there comes a point in this business where everybody has to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think it was it Mark Henry that said, like The Rock,
Stone Cold,
all the guys that are revered as some of the greatest WWE superstars of all time, some of the greatest wrestlers, greatest sports entertainers of all time, all these guys who have been revered like this,
they all had to do this.
They all had to do it. The Rock, who is, the biggest movie star on the planet right now. Well, not right now, but like one of the biggest movie stars on the planet.
Absolutely.
I'm not putting him above RDJ. Just saying. It's just like, if The Rock had to do it to get what he got and to get all the WWE championship runs and the 3 consecutive main events with Stone Cold, if I'm not mistaken, it's 3 consecutive, right?
It wasn't 3 consecutive, but it was 3.
It was two consecutive, and then there was another one.
99.
Wasn't it 17, 19, and something?
17. It was 15, 17, and 19.
Okay, so it wasn't consecutive, but it was 3. It was 3 main events.
Yeah.
With Stone Cold. That's my bad. I always feel like it was 16, 17, 18 for some reason, like back to back.
It seems
to back,
real close because of the era.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, this is now carrying bags. I got my own bags. I got my own gear. I got my own clothes. Like, I got my own stuff. I'm not going to carry your bags if I can barely carry mine. So the carrying bags thing, like, I'll help somebody. Like, if I've already gotten my bags in my room and I've already been situated, like, oh, you need some help? Yeah, I'll grab that for you. That's just the person I am. Like, I'm going to help everybody get where they need to go, blah, 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 whatever. But that's also the kind of person you need to be in a business that's based off of respect.
Absolutely.
Respect is the number one word. Respect is the number one thing that I learned when I walked in the House of Glory, April 1st, 2017. That was the first thing. Respect. You have to respect the people who have been there before you, and you have to respect the people that are going to come after you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody deserves the same level of respect
that you have.
But you have to earn respect from some people, and that is what I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, handing water to somebody after a match. How hard is that?
I feel like handing somebody a water.
And pour the water here.
I don't think
great match.
Yeah, I don't think that demands a lot of energy, which is the reason why I'm a little bit confused.
Literally no energy.
It's like just handing somebody water and just saying good match.
Good match, dude. That's it. Great match. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that was great. Even if the match wasn't great.
Just say, hey, good stuff out.
That was good stuff.
Because he kind of put his body on the line.
I love that spot.
You know, yeah. Here's what I have to say about it. Because go ahead. Finish. Go.
My second thing is, see, on one hand, the whole black man being embarrassed thing is, okay, I kind of get it. But let's also put this into perspective. Mm-hmm. Aleister Black cleaned the locker room. Aleister Black is...
Wait a minute.
But Aleister Black was cleaning up the locker room behind people because he respects, and he's just like, he's probably like me. I'm the person I like, if I see stuff all over the place, like, I'm gonna just clean. My mind just says clean.
Right.
Clean. My own room may be dirty, but like if I clean, if I have to do something else, like my mind automatically says clean.
Right. If it's a dirty space, it's a dirty space.
My biggest issue with this is, let's not use I'm a black man and it may look a little embarrassing for somebody like me to go out and carry other people's bags. If Aleister Black has to do it, if Stone Cold and The Rock had to do it. If, you know, some of the girls that were coming up maybe from NXT had to do it. Some of the guys coming up from NXT maybe had to do it. What's the issue with you doing it? Do you just not want to do it? Like, okay, maybe your family was on the European tour with you and you felt embarrassed or whatnot. Get the bag and shut up. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just automatically fly sky high. You know, we've seen it with so many people who get to the main roster. You know, like, there's people who it took. Kofi Kingston is the perfect example. It took him 11 years to get the WWE Championship.
Shot.
You know how I know that? Because Michael Cole won't stop saying it. It took him 11 years. But you know what he did? He kept a smile on his face and he kept working. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, he knew his worth. He probably wanted to pull a Sasha Banks and walk out mad times. Granted, he wasn't treated as bad as Sasha Banks was. He still got long reigns. He still got, you know, some things that he could do and some tangible stuff to work with.
Right.
But like, as far as Lio Rush, he's been on the roster for
maybe
cup of
5
coffee.
minutes. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes.
He's been on the roster for like a can, like not even a full can of paint, and you want Roman Reigns' salary, and I'm not saying that this is actually what he wants, but you know, off the stuff that we're hearing, off the stuff he said from Fightful, you know, if you claim to be broke, dude, you're making more money than me. I work at.
My whole thing is though, I mean, if you're getting paid $300,000 a year and you're quote unquote broke, like I think maybe it's time for you to be a better steward over your finances. But that's a whole different story. Now, what I will also say, because I mean, I'm making it work right now, and I'm getting maybe what, a tenth of that. I'm getting a tithe off of your salary.
I'm getting a tithe of that.
And I'm still managing what I have. So maybe it's time for you to. But anyway, here's what I will say about this. Because
start getting cheaper motels.
Yeah.
Go to Motel 6, dang.
And
Fly Spirit.
My whole Fly Spirit.
Nah, don't Fly Spirit.
Don't Fly
I'm
Spirit.
joking.
That's
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Don't Fly Spirit.
But I will. What I will say, going off of what Nick's point was, is that it is an industry that's based around respect, and everybody that got to the top first by showing respect. You look at some of the people that are in the locker room now who have been there the longest. It's not about talent per se. It's about the respect that you have for the guys in the locker room, and they'll respect you back. And that will manifest itself in guys saying, "Hey, I'll put this guy over. Hey, I'll do this for this guy." That's how that happens. It's not about like just talent, because you can sit here and do 100 630 flips, but if nobody in the back respects you, who's gonna put you over? Who's gonna take the pen for you? You know what I mean?
Especially I could do the best looking DDT in the company. I could put on 5-star matches. But who's gonna want to work with me if I don't respect you? Okay.
And to be honest, and that I mean, like it once again, it goes back to that whole thing about respect. It goes to that whole thing about just treating the people that were there before you with respect. And yeah, I get it. You're a 24-year-old. Even as WWE put it, he's a prodigy. Like the fact that he was great in ring before WWE, and he came to the WWE and essentially became a manager. Like left 205 Live as a competitor to be Bobby Lashley's manager, and was so good on the mic that people just let him rock as a manager. You already have the talent, you already have the God-given ability, but you just need to have the respect for other people, because that way people will put you over, and then people can see you for how great at least you think you are. But if you don't extend that respect to other people, then people are not going to want to work with you. Like, period. And to be honest, the WWE roster has over 225 people. Plus. 225 people plus. They can call Shane Strickland up today to pick up where you left off at and not blink. That's the reason why NXT is in place, so they can just literally just call talent up at their convenience. Mm-hmm. And believe me, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Shane is another Leo. I've never seen Shane perform. Simultaneously, they have a pool of talent to pick from.
Yeah.
At ease. That's all that I'm saying.
And it's not like he's expendable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Lio Rush is definitely a value talent. He's really good. A great wrestler. He's had, like, the few matches he's had on Raw, he's had really great ones.
Yeah.
But, what is a great wrestler to, a good wrestler who respects everybody, who works with people? The Miz is the perfect example.
Absolutely.
The Miz is like, The Miz isn't like the greatest wrestler on the planet and doing all types of crazy, but the people like the Miz. They respect the Miz because you can tell that the Miz is a nice guy. He loves his fans. He respects all of his peers. He's willing to put his peers over. He's willing to be put over, because who wouldn't want to be put over? He really did carry he really was one of the guys who carried SmackDown Live in that initial brand split in 2016 to 2017. He really did a lot of the work to carry that brand.
Absolutely.
And his kind of like feud with his rivalry with Daniel Bryan, which was played out during that early time in 2016, was really great.
It was.
And if only Daniel Bryan would have been able to come back sooner. But the thing is,
they made it work. And The Miz is a great talker. He's a good worker. He's somebody that can go in there. You put out a match with him, and it'll be a good to great match. Obviously, depending on who's in the ring with him. Absolutely.
But The Miz is a good worker who respects everybody. You can be a great worker. You can have great matches and still be a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? You know why so many of these people in the 80s and in the 90s did not want, other people didn't want to work with them, and they had all types of beef with everybody in the locker room and all types of politics and were going on and stuff. You want to know why these people ain't like them? Because nobody could respect them.
Yeah.
They were being terrible people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, name any names, but I'm pretty sure you could name a good 3 people who were being complete a-holes.
Oh, absolutely. And to be completely honest, once again,
I don't have.
Even if you're the greatest wrestler, you still need to be in the ring with somebody to wrestle with.
Exactly.
So, I think we can move on from that. But yeah, let us know what you feel about this Lio Rush situation.
Yeah, comment below.
Comment below. Tell us what you feel. Anyway.
Yeah. Just really quickly, want to run down the card for Money in the Bank. Next week, we're going to be doing predictions.
Yeah.
Really quickly, want to run down the card. Money in the Bank is, where is it this year? Money in the Bank is next Sunday, May 19th.
May 19th.
I will be at Legends. Are you going to be at Legends?
I should be. So.
Yay! We're going to be at Legends.
We're going to be at Legends.
We're going to be at Legend Bar, watching Money in the Bank with Jobber Tears podcast. You guys should come out and have some fun. It's taking place inside the XL Center at Hartford, Connecticut. So going from the top of the card to the bottom, I guess, you have Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for the Universal Championship.
Should be a banger.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good match. But I do think it ends with a Money in the Bank cash-in. And you'll find out who I think will win the Universal Championship.
Next week.
WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. That should be really good too.
Also, Kofi has had a couple of solid. That's the one benefit of this wild card thing, is that Kofi's gotten in 2 really good title defenses. One against Daniel Bryan, another one against Sami.
2 days in a row on live television. Respect, dude. Like, that's insane. First of two Becky Lynch title defenses, the Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. I
like Lacey's build-up. I can say that. We're not gonna get into all that today.
I don't know if Lacey. we're not. I'm not doing a prediction right now.
We're not doing a prediction.
I just don't. I don't get it. Like, I don't really get Lacey.
We gonna figure this out. Well,
we're gonna talk
about
it's just kind of like I get like I'm getting less like Southern Belle, more Southern Plantation, Slave Master. So, SmackDown Women's Championship. The second of 2 Becky Lynch title defenses, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Yes, this match is happening again. I want you guys to realize something. A version of Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair has happened at every pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view since SummerSlam. And people said that they were getting tired of Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Sasha Banks and Charlotte didn't have this many matches.
I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
SummerSlam. This is Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Charlotte and Becky Lynch. SummerSlam. That stupid. What was that? Hell in a Cell. That stupid Australian pay-per-view.
Super Showdown.
Yes. Then I think Becky got injured. Whatever. So she couldn't fight in November. December, the triple threat match. January, the stupid.
Fastlane.
No, they were the last 2 in the Rumble. January.
Yeah.
Fastlane.
And then Mania, and then
WrestleMania. Money in the Bank. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Sasha Banks and Charlotte.
It's about 8 matches because remember she won her 4 titles from Charlotte, so she
didn't win 4 from Charlotte. She won 3 from Charlotte. The 4th one was Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah.
Because not counting the triple threat at that. Well, no, let's count it. Triple threat at Mania 32. Raw, SummerSlam, Raw, Hell in a Cell, Raw. What was the next pay-per-view that they fought?
I have no idea. I don't even remember.
Roadblock Into the Line. So one match less.
So yeah, we're not gonna get into. Yeah, let's
I don't care, but
let's move on. So
men's Money in the Bank match: Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, Mustafa Ali, because that will forever be his name. Andrade Cien Almas, because that will also forever be his name, and Randy Orton.
I'm not gonna get into who I think is gonna win, but this is a really good lineup, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a new Money in the Bank guy.
I'm actually glad they put Ricochet in this match.
Yes, because he's gonna shine.
I'm looking forward to some of the spots that we're gonna get.
Oh yeah, he's gonna lose his.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Women's Money in the Bank match: Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Natty, Dana Brooke. Very interesting. Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella.
I'm really looking forward to Dana getting like an opportunity now because I feel like she's been super looked over.
I actually don't think Dana's gonna be in this match. I think somebody is gonna take Dana out, and they're gonna replace, and that person's gonna replace her.
We'll see. Either way, I'm just hyped that Dana is like being mentioned in a match in a pay-per-view. Period.
I just think we're gonna have a Money in the Banks. Anyway, Roman Reigns versus Elias. Nobody cares. The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match.
Should be good. This has been a really good build-up, even after the Mania match.
Shane, I know you're gonna do it, but don't do it. Well, I don't even have to say what he's gonna do. Everybody know. You all know what he's gonna do. You know what he's gonna do.
I know what he's
don't do it. Just don't.
Should be a good match though.
Finally, United States Championship: Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio.
I think they're gonna have actual time to do this match.
Well, yeah, I think Rey Mysterio was injured in that WrestleMania match. And then it hasn't been announced, but we're assuming that it's actually going to happen. The Iconics versus Asuka and Kairi Sane.
I think Iconics are going to come away with it.
I don't think so. I think the Iconics, they literally just took the titles off of Sasha Banks and Bayley to put them on the Iconics to be transitional champions. Because the Iconics have lost every singles match that they've done.
Very true.
Since winning the titles. Or maybe they'll do a story where it's like, oh, we can only really work together because we're a tag team. Ugh, I feel like they're going to do that.
Anyway, but that's what it looks like for Money in the Bank. We'll give our predictions next week.
I'm just going to go have fun. I'm not really watching the match. Well, I mean, there's a few that I really do want to watch, but there's nothing I really...
Legends Bar. That's what. And the Jabba Juice podcast. But anyway.
Oh, and I don't have to work until 3 the next day, so...
We'll have to be up early.
I'm very excited.
But anyway, thanks for watching.
I haven't been to Legends Bar since the Saturday before WrestleMania. That was a fun night. That was very fun. I got home at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Was I there for that or no?
No, you remember you left. No, because that was G1 Supercard night. You went home.
I went home, and then you went. Oh yeah.
And then I went to Legends.
And then you had fun.
And I was at Legends for like 2.5 hours. And Dre is like,
told-
why are you still here? I was like, I'm just gonna stay for like a half hour, say hi. I was there for like an hour and a half. They were taking care of me.
Yo, as soon as he said he was going to Legends, I was like, yeah, I'm going home. I'm dead going home.
Yeah, no, because Janelle was like, because it's so funny. Because shout out to our friends at Jobber Tears Podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a collaboration show with you guys
Soon.
very soon. I'm working on the idea. I got it. You know, but it's so funny because I saw her on the floor seat, because we were all the way up on that stupid bridge thing.
Too bad that was a dope. Those
That
are
was a
dope.
good seat.
I like them. I like those seats.
It was just mad, like it was just like, this was my knee.
It was the broke,
and this was the glass.
I call it the broke suites because they weren't box seats.
That's mad funny. No, but what's so funny is she saw me on the bridge because I was waving, and then she saw me. So she texted me like, "Oh, come to Legends after," and I'm just like, "Right." So yeah, if you've never been to Legends Bar before, it's
You're
so
missing out.
active. You're missing out. It's so much fun. The wings is mad good,
They are
and
mad good.
the Jobber juice is mad good too. So I'm just letting y'all know. Pop out. Make sure you say hello to your boy. I might look different because I'll have different color hair, but you know, I'm tired and I'm chatting, so let's end this show.
All right, y'all. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you for our Money in the Bank special. Yeah.
Yeah.